What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Bros Live Show. You might be wondering, Tim, where are you? Well, I'm in my natural habitat, Greenland, back amongst the Viking people, the people of my bloodline. No, this is not a green screen. This is a wall. If you don't come to Investing Bros for anything else, it's to see what does Tim's background look like today. Well, the background's fun, but you know what's even more fun? What's more fun is the crypto rally happening right now. And specifically, we're going to be talking about 3 altcoins that are already doing pretty well. In fact, one of them is having a very good day today. But the bullishness could get even more potent if a couple dominoes kind of trickle and fall in the right place at the right time. We could see some massive rallies in these 3 coins. We're going to be talking about that. I'm not going to say the names. I'm not going to tell you which ones they are. You might guess. I think they're on the thumbnail, so that's not a very well kept secret. But we're going to pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. And we're going to pretend like nothing bad will ever happen again, because it is time to be bullish in crypto right now, even if things are about to go down in price. We're going to talk about charts. We're going to talk about news. We're kind of just continually sitting in this spot of wondering, are we about to have a massive breakout to the upside or to the downside? The question is, which one happens first? I do think both will happen, but I don't know which one will happen first. Make sure you go ahead and strap on in for the entire show. You do not have to hit the like button yet. I'm telling you why. We haven't done anything yet. Other than you guys seeing a new background for Tim, nothing has been done. Give us a couple of minutes. We're going to get you guys some crypto content, everything you need to know. And then I do require a smashing of the like and a subscribe button, but I'll let you know when that moment is coming. I am joined today from down in Florida, my good co-host, T. Shroom. T. Shroom, how are you feeling today?
Better than I deserve, Tim. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Did you do some yodeling in those mountains?
I am not a yodeler. I do sing. I like to sing, fun fact. But yodeling is not within my repertoire of skills. Or at least I haven't tried. And I feel like yodeling is one of those, if you try it and it doesn't work out, you butcher anyone who might be close to you. So.
Gary C. was on the same train of thought. He said, that's where they blow the horn for Ricola, isn't it? Which, if you don't know, is a Swiss-made coughing lozenge. Which, fast fact, if you have ever been in the military, at least specifically the Army, lozenges or cough drops are like currency, because you're not allowed to have money when you're in basic training.
Yeah.
And so the cough drops become currency. That's enough fast facts for today. Let's get into a fun quote from your boy, Timmy Tebow. Go Gators. Every time I step on the field, I'm going to give my whole heart, regardless of the score. That's from your boy, Timmy Tebow of the Gainesville, Florida Gators. And there he's sporting the Broncos. Not his best team that he played for, but a team nonetheless. What do you think of that, Twim?
He led them to a comeback season to go to the playoffs and then beat the number 1 defense in a playoff game. He has more playoff wins than several starting quarterbacks in the league right now. That's all I'm going to say about old Timmy Tebow. Here's what I'll say. Tim Tebow was never going to win MVP and was never going to win a Super Bowl, but the man was better than people give him credit for in the NFL. It was truly an injustice what has happened to his career. But yeah, you know what's amazing about Tim Tebow? First of all, his name is Tim. So it already puts him into a high echelon of human beings.
That's true.
And then it's the fact that the NFL said, you know what, we're done with you. And the rest of the world said, we'll take him. And he's now a walking legend. Anything he does and puts his hands to, he is amazing at. And I'm rooting for him. Maybe future president. I would love to see a Tim Tebow presidency. But then you also have to wonder, does the presidency just ruin people? Maybe we want to keep a pure Tim Tebow.
Yeah. I could see him being
out of that world.
Maybe president of the Philippines, and he's done a lot of charity work there. I don't know what their laws are having to be a resident.
We need to find out what Tim's stance on crypto is. I don't believe he's really ever given a strong stance on cryptocurrency. So we're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah, my guess is that he's a sleeper Bitcoin maxi, but he has a bunch of chainlink that he's not telling anybody about.
Yeah. Yeah, Crypto Trade says Tim Tebow is the man's son. He's Tim's cousin. That's right. I'm cousins with everyone named Tim.
That's right.
It's an international fraternity of Tims is what we have. But as I said before, and I'll say it again, we Tims, we are a special kind of people, but we will never, I repeat, we will never create a Tim coin that has just not worked out for other names. So no Tim coin coming.
Yeah.
If it does come, it's probably from someone named Jim who's trying to. Gyms are rotten. I'm just going to put that right now. Yeah.
That there is an excellent example of the high level of sophisticated humor that is on showcase here at the Investing Bros. We love it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's
still not time. They don't have to give likes just yet. But let's go ahead and break on into. We're gonna save the main conversation of the 3 altcoins that can pump here for just a second. Let's talk about 2 other coins. Number 1, Bitcoin. We got to talk about Bitcoin. We always got to talk about Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and go over to my screen here. T of Shroom continuing to make a push today up here at 35,700 for Bitcoin, but still below that yellow line. Again, are we making a push to the upside? Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our oscillators here. Yes, we have the chart prime oscillator making a little bit of a descent, but you're also going to see when you look at the RSI, that's kind of not really making a dip here. We're staying in that overbought territory, which it's got to make you kind of a little bit excited and a little bit nervous. Anyone who says they know exactly what Bitcoin is about to do is a liar. They are lying because this is very, very confusing. Of course, we had our golden cross here not too long ago, but a lot of times these golden crosses can be a mixed bag where we've kind of traded sideways since we had that action. But are we going to have one more bounce off this yellow line, maybe a third touch of that 36,000, and then a retracement to the downside? Let's take a look at some shorter time frames here for Bitcoin. You will see on the 4-hour chart, after getting back down into kind of normal ranges, RSI back up above 70. We are not seeing a reversal flash on this most recent rally here, but we are seeing, again, getting back into the territory, which you guys will see back here. Every time we've climbed over 70 since back on October 29th, those have been very short-lived stints, and then the price moves back to the downside. So this would be very big for the bulls to go ahead and continue to climb here, despite the fact that the 4 hours is saying that we're overextended. Let's look at the hourly chart. Hourly chart RSI back up again, but guess what? You have formed. First of all, overbought. Second of all, this RSI candle nowhere close as high. So back here, we closed at 83. Right here, we're currently sitting at 76, and yet the candle body closes are a little higher. Now, this candle just opened. Let's see what happens at the end of 4 o'clock. But guys, we are sitting in very dangerous territory of bearish divergence here on the hourly chart. One more rejection here up towards these higher levels. So chart's kind of in a spot, very vulnerable spot. We could correct, move to the downside. We could explode finally and break through that yellow line. There's rumors, as there have been for the last couple of weeks. I continue to, on Twitter, without a single day missing it, go on there and see people rumoring that ETFs are about to be approved. Guys, at this point, I'll believe it when I see it. And in fact, I need to see it from the SEC themselves. Even if we see what we would call credible sources other than the SEC come out, until Gary Gensler says that he has approved these ETFs, it's hard to believe that any of that is actually going to happen. I still believe best case scenario, we're really looking at January. And I think maybe more realistic scenario, we're looking at probably March. But for right now, we're continuing. We're making a push again right now as we speak. But we've gotten up to this level here twice before and gotten pretty harshly rejected. And right now, like I said, we're sitting in some pretty nice bearish divergence territory that you do want to be aware of. Now, let's kind of flip the script here.
Just for the record, I disagree, by the way. I think we're going to see it in December for my birthday.
Oh, is that why? That's your strong evidence? Yeah. The birthday?
That's not my evidence. I'm not presenting evidence, and I'm just putting my quick insert caveat. Yeah. The bros are divided on the issue.
Well, we're usually divided on issues. That's what makes the bros swell. All right, let's take a look at a coin just absolutely going nuts. I made a price prediction video on it this morning. If you have not checked out that video, go give it a watch. And you're going to say, Tim, are you freaking nuts? A $700 chainlink? Well, watch the video. Watch the video and see. You tell me what you think after watching the video. Yes, I take some steps. I take some liberties. But I really don't feel like the liberties I took, based off of the recent information that we know about chainlink and what this is going to look like, I don't think they're crazy. I'm not going to get into specifics, but I will say this, and I'll repeat I said in the video. I think that this bull market is the bull market of institutional adoption, okay? I think most of you are going to agree with me on that one. We have not seen institutional adoption like we will see in this bull market. And I think that, XRP obviously has a case. Ethereum has a case. Solana has a case. But I'm going to go ahead and just say it right now. I don't think there's a single coin that will benefit as much from institutional adoption as Chainlink. I think that it could be absolutely nuts. But watch the prediction there. I made some shorter time frame predictions that I'm going to take a look at right here. Now, we are overextended. We have got that overbought flash, but we've had them here before, and generally just keeps trucking on through. Let's go out to I think I got to go to the weekly chart to get this kind of this longer time frame Fibonacci levels. We talked about it this morning. I want to just bring it back up to you guys. Where Chainlink, if we can continue to push, where could we push all the way to? Let's go set up our Fibonacci, and let's go to the log chart here. Bada boom. And I actually want to, this is solid. This is solid. The two levels we are kind of looking at here, actually, I need to come down to this high we had back here in 2021, November 2021, instead of the April 2021. Let's run this out. Give me off auto. So the first thing I said, hey, guys, there's a chance we end up hesitating around 14, right there below 14, 1390. Well, we blasted through that this morning. I told you guys in the video, hey, there's a couple more levels you want to watch. First of all, golden pocket sitting back up here at the high we had back in April of 2022. That would give us a $17.70 Chainlink just at the bottom. But I did, since this morning, I kind of redo this. Let's go Fibonacci from the levels that we just discussed, from that $17 level, from that April high of 2022. We surpassed our platinum pocket. Keep an eye on, I'm going to go back and forth here, but keep an eye on the top level of the platinum pocket also. 1584 is going to be one level. Let's take this off of log and go back to linear. Let's spread this out just a little bit to make it more clear. That's going to be a level that's going to be very, very interesting. On linear, that's going to be close to the level where we're getting towards the bottom of the platinum pocket versus log chart. We're going to be seeing it come in more towards the top of that log chart. Either way, 1560, 1580, that range on Chainlink to me is the next level I'm looking at before potentially reaching that $18, $17 level we had back in April of 2022. Chainlink is just on a tear. And again, we're going to do some TA on some other coins here in just a second, but we're going to get into the details of the main story. And I will go ahead and give you guys permission at this point, even though we have a lot more coming your way, you can now smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are hitting some big topics here. It's great. It's a great time to be talking crypto because there's so much stuff happening on the charts, in the news, and it's time we get into some of that. But we're going to take a little bit of a break. Now that you've smashed that like button, you've hit subscribe. It's a very special part of the show where we have our trivia question of the day before we get into this main topic. T-Shroom, what has the elf got for me today?
The factoid elf has one locked and loaded for you, Tim. It's a good one. We'll see if you can get the answer to this factoid right. The following factoid is as follows. And it is brought to you by none other than a page that took a little bit of time to load there, decrypted.tax. We're having a lot of fun as we are watching our crypto assets move up and to the right, but especially if you are trading through an LLC, you're going to have to file in 2023 in December, and that can get tricky. It can get all kinds of complicated. If you don't know what you're doing, if you're not feeling confident going into corporate tax season, again, corporate tax season, your personal tax season, it's going to be probably next year going into April. Hopefully you file before April, but for corporate tax season, decrypt.tax has got you covered. They're a friend of the Investing Bros. In fact, if you book your free 30-minute consultation with Ernest, and you tell him that the Investing Bros sent you, get 25% off the fees there for your corporate tax crypto holdings. Now, maybe you've got a bunch of real estate. Maybe you own several businesses, a laundromat, and you're a partial owner with your sister in a lawn mowing service.
Specific.
You don't want to leave your old tax guy. Look, you're going to have to. You're going to have to find somebody who actually knows what they're doing when it comes to crypto. And Ernest over at decrypted.tax, he's not only a crypto CPA, he's also a tax attorney. Okay, so he comes with a high level of sophistication that you don't have to pay a dime more for. He still charges the regular CPA rates, and with Investing Bros, you get 25% off that. Go to decrypted.tax today. You have nothing to gain and everything to lose. You're going to love it.
Yeah, true.
Tell them we sent you. Factoid of the day. What is the 10th largest market cap on CoinGecko.com? Tim Warren, this question is for you. I need to get the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. Dun dun.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I know that Chainlink, I don't check out CoinGecko that often, but I know Chainlink was sitting at number 11.
Well,
and
don't
it has a
pull
what?
anything up. This has to be off your head. Let me see your hands.
Cheat.
Hands
I
in your
don't
head.
cheat, Teacher Room. I don't look. You can see what my screen is looking at, so you know that I'm looking at a chart right now. All right, so don't try to go nuts with me here. I'm not a cheater. Who is a cheater? I was about to compare myself to somebody, but I'm not going to oust anybody. Here, go back to the question. I need to see the levels because I know that number 11 is 7 billion, right? So that's not it.
There we go.
So that rules out B because if it's 10th, then we're going to have to go larger than that. To me, that would signal that I'm thinking it's going to be 10. I think 14 and 15 is a little too high. I think I'm going to go with D, the number 10 largest market cap on CoinGecko, $10 billion.
Okay.
I'm reading the comments to make sure there's not a little switcheroo in there.
Uh-oh.
Now, out of curiosity, I guess we'll look at the question. Is Toncoin number 10 or is that number 9?
We'll have to figure that out.
And CoinGecko also might be a little different than CoinMarketCap. I don't know.
And that is something that we do know to be true. All right. That is going to be what we circle back to, guys. Yeah. Tim has locked in his answer. Make sure you lock in your answer down there in the chat or in the comments below if you're watching non-live. We still love you. Whoa. And you get a little closer look there at the options. All right, Tim, let's go ahead and get into our cover story.
Locke is right. I'm not a cheater like Lance Armstrong. I also didn't have cancer. I feel like he was allowed. I feel like when you have to fight cancer for that many years, maybe you should be allowed to cheat a little bit. Now, you shouldn't treat people like crap like he did. But,
Lance Armstrong, he's been through it. He's been through some stuff in his life. Is he writing a new book yet? I feel like a new book. He needs to
apologize for being rude to people, but guys, let him cheat. He had a hard life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Speaking of things, Robinhood's 10av teases EU expansion and addresses the relisting and delisting.
You know what'd be so cool, T-Shroom? If we saw the article while we read through it, that'd be cool. Feature we could do on the show.
I wanted people to get your full reaction.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I got.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes. So some of you may know, I made a short about it today, and let me tell you, that short is taking off. There's Cardano, there's Matic, and there's Solana, and they were delisted back in June of 2023. Well, now there's some indication that that may be coming to an end. We don't have a date yet, but this is from the CEO of Robinhood. Said it's hard to say what specifically we're waiting for to give us comfort. I'm not okay. I think that rulemaking, court case data, that all helps, and of course. We'll continue to push for regulatory clarity because I think it would be a shame for the innovation that we've seen in crypto to be co-opted overseas. I think it's very, very important for the U.S. to remain a leader in every new technology in the industry that we possibly can. 10av responded. 10av, of course, being the CEO there of Robinhood. So that's kind of the perspective there of 10av. What I'm taking from that is that he wants to go forward. He wants to bring the 3 coins back and probably more and start listing more coins, right? But didn't give a date, just waiting for that elusive regulatory clarity, which hopefully, maybe with the passing of the ETF, maybe that will bring us one step closer to what we need, what 10av needs. So that's really the long and short of the story there, guys. As you might not know, Robinhood took a 13% nosedive in trading this morning, and the markets aren't closed yet, so we could check in with it, although I don't care too much. But ultimately, what is being signaled now is Robinhood's got to do something. Well, they've expanded into the UK. They announced that. They haven't done it yet, but they've announced that they're expanding into the UK to try to derive some fees from over there. And then they're also looking to bring back the tokens that brought a lot of crypto bros on. So that's a big development there for Robinhood. It's an exchange that I know and love. We talk about it a lot on the show.
Yeah.
They're not without their foibles from the past, but they definitely are taking the right steps forward here when they can.
Yeah, I mean, and we've said this before. When they kicked these coins off, a lot of people were probably tempted to be like, oh, how dare they? Don't pretend that Robinhood is something that it's not. Robinhood is not a friend of decentralization. Robinhood is not a crypto exchange. So when the crypto exchanges that were claiming to be decentralized start delisting coins, then you have a right to be pretty upset. But Robinhood has never advertised themselves as being an ally of decentralization and crypto. They're a fan of money. They're a fan of you trading on their exchange to make money. And with them being able to trade stonks and trade different things, they didn't want to get in trouble with the person that they need to be on very good terms with. And I said person, I mean entity. That'd be the SEC. But what I think is so bullish about this story, T-shirt, even though it's not official just yet, the fact that even Robinhood is going to kind of be in the ear of the SEC saying, do not push crypto out of the U.S. This is a complaint we've heard before, and we'll hear it again. It would be a colossal mistake for any country, but being an American citizen, I'm mostly concerned with America. It would be a colossal mistake to push crypto innovation into the hands of other countries, namely those countries probably being China and Russia. If crypto adoption, we kind of were in a world here a year ago, 2 years ago, with China and Russia being very anti-crypto, the U.S. somewhat being positive, being kind of vague, and we're seeing a flippening happen where it seems like American politicians are coming out with reasons to want to ban crypto. Yes, there are still supporters, but now we're seeing the likes of China and Russia. We're seeing the BRICS nations, including India and Brazil, get very, very pro-crypto. And what do they want to get rid of? They want to get rid of the dominance. They're going to use the dollar, but in reality, they want to get rid of the dominance of the United States power around the world. And they know if we get rid of the dollar, we can do that. Well, with them heavily utilizing cryptocurrency to back whatever they're going to be creating for their currency, that is a threat to the US dollar, which, to be honest, I don't care about. But it's also a threat to the United States power, the United States ability to continue to regulate things. I'll put it this way. America we have our foibles, as T-shirt would say. We definitely do. But let's be honest. Would we rather America be the world power, or would we rather China and Russia be the world power? You guys let me know in the comments which one you would prefer. I'm going to vote America. That could change in the future. I don't know. But for now, I choose America. And I think it would be absolutely horrible for the SEC or any entity in the United States government to push the crypto and AI regulation out of the U.S. We got to find a way to make some smart, common sense regulation that protects people, not just pads the pockets of the wealthy and the elite. But we need to find a way to keep innovation here in the United States, not push it into those countries like the BRICS nations. So to me, this is bullish. I think this is a sign. I do think, not that I didn't think this before, but I think this is even more of a sign. I do think we're going to be seeing exchanges that were a little scared, got a little cold feet, start to relist the likes of Cardano, of Matic, of Solana. We, of course, have been seeing Solana and Cardano already rallying. Today, though, it's Chainlink's day, guys. It's Chainlink's day. Mm-hmm. Chainlink up 11.75% of the day. But Matic, no slop. They're up almost 8% themselves, getting back up here on the weekly chart towards, they just broke the 200 weekly today, or this week, excuse me, and they're making a move up towards that 50. But let's take a look here at Matic, again, having a very, very good day. Let's take down our SMAs for just a second. You guys can see, we were overextended back here. We kind of retraced a little bit, but now we're making another push. And the RSI is climbing higher and higher and higher. You do want to keep your eye on if we cannot top out right here above 90 cents, the level we had back here in July. We're going to be probably sitting in some good spots for some bearish divergence there. What I mean by that is look at the RSI right now over at 93 versus the RSI back during that time was at 83. That means right now we're sitting in bearish divergence, but I want to see red candles pile up before I make that official claim here. Now on the log chart, let's take a look at the linear here, go back out. Now we broke out of a falling wedge pattern, didn't really retest that resistance, but I don't know if this is one we have to retest this red line. I still think there's a decent chance Matic pulls back at least to 6 cents. When I say at least, let's go to 66 cents. I don't know why I said 6 cents. 60 cents, what I meant. 66 cents to 60 cents. That's going to be a range I think is going to be very interesting for a pullback to happen. But again, watch out for 90 cents is going to be a level. If we can break above that, the momentum could continue. I think it's going to be hard, though. I do think it's going to be hard to break up that high. Let's take a look here at some other things. Breaking above the red wave. Again, it happens. And this one back here in January, we rode this all the way through February and even into, were we in March? No, we kind of ended in February. But that was a very harsh, very quick pullback. This is something we've said before, and I just need to say it again. Make sure it gets ingrained in your brain. Be looking for profits. And I'm not saying you have to take all of them right now. And I'm not saying the rallies are over, but I am saying historically, you do not see, especially in this time period of the cycles that happen in cryptocurrency and investing, you don't see these crazy rallies without seeing some pretty harsh pullbacks as well. Now, they don't always drop all the way back down to where they started. So again, am I saying that I think Matic's going to drop below 50 cents? No, I'm not saying that. Is there a chance? Absolutely. The reason why we go back here and look at historical levels, I'm going to make a video for our members on this. We did have a request that I kind of go back and talk about the activity of altcoins in previous bear markets. Let's do it. I really want to do it. Let's take a look back here. This doesn't tell you the full history of Matic, but for example, even just looking right here back in May of 19, you saw Matic have a nice explosive rally here, 1400%, 14.500%, 1463. That's explosive. We're not going to see that happen again. I don't think we're going to see a 1,400% in this pre-bull market rally. We might see it in the overall bull market, but this was followed here very quickly by, over the next couple of weeks, we saw an 81% pullback. 1,400% up, 80% pullback. Then we had another rally, not as explosive as this one. But we had another explosive rally happen right here back in, this is December of 19, 253%. This is one that actually dropped lower than that level, came back and pulled back another 74%. Another pullback happened right here. This is going to be the COVID one, March 2020. Another pullback here. Oh, did not grab my tool correctly. Another pullback here of 77%. What's my point here? I could do this on every single altcoin out here, but the point is, just because we're seeing explosive rallies right now doesn't mean the bull market's back. This, we wouldn't call this period, or at least most people would not say, oh, that was the bull market. We would look at this stretch right here and say, all right, there we go, bull market. This gave us a rally. And again, not saying that we're going to see the exact same thing happen, but we saw a rally here of 20,000% to the upside. 201x. That's amazing, right? That's a bull market. While we know that the 200% gains are awesome, this is just a normal December of the year before the bull market starting for these altcoins. This is just a normal price action. And these really fast rallies, more often than not, get followed with really quick and pretty harsh falls to the downside. Now, again, I'm not saying we have to come back down to 50 cents. I'm not saying we're going to set new lows for the bear market. But looking at that 60, 66 cent zone, to me, we've seen some wrestling happen right here. You guys can see going back historically, you have a couple that, if I were to just stretch this little T box out, let's go right here. You can see historically, a lot of wrestling happens kind of in that zone. We have pullbacks to support coming back in here, resistance happening, a lot of wrestling with volume in those zones. Would not be surprised to see us pull back into that again. Matic, though, doing an amazing, amazing job here. Again, what I'm kind of looking out for, we're going to wrap up. Let's do the other two as well. I'm looking for anywhere between now and 90 cents. I think it's going to be hard to get above 90 cents to be the place where I'm looking to take some profit on Matic, waiting for a decent little pullback. By the way, guys, let's pretend we did get anywhere close to that 90%. What I'm talking about, we might get a 30%. I've been telling you guys, I think alts can pull back anywhere between 30 to 40%. That absolutely could happen here on Matic and come back down to the levels that I am talking about. Let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano, I'm going to be making a Cardano price prediction video probably, I guess it'll depend. After making the Chainlink video, I want to make some more just like that. Let me know in the comments how much you liked that video. You want to see more of them. Tell me which coins you want to see. I can't promise to do all of them. Not all coins have very clean tokenomics. To do these price predictions, I need to kind of have an understanding of where the supply will be, because there are certain coins out there that it's very easy to track their supply. There's other coins out there, it's very complicated. I'll do my best, but if you don't know the supply, it's very hard to give an accurate price prediction because things get very hairy very quickly. But Cardano, let's go back to my screen, making its push up here, did get above, kind of closer to those levels we talked about here the other day. They're on 37. I told you guys, I think we could touch and double top here at close to 38 cents, but we got very, very close to that, kind of pulling back down. Let's take a look at the hourly chart, kind of seeing a little bit of a indecision zone. Do we want to pull back completely? Are we just kind of regrouping? We did here on the hourly chart just get that red reversal triangle coming in here. We're back down into healthy levels here when we're looking at our waves after bouncing off that hourly dynamic reactor. So still a bullish chart at the moment for Cardano. But as you start to move up to these higher time frames, this is what concerns me. You got a lot of overbought signals, reversal signals, and you move up to these higher time frames, 3 daily chart flashing overbought, and you're going to notice there's just not a lot of times in Cardano's history where we get overbought flashes and we don't see at least pullbacks. Even all of these where you see the bull market happen, you'll notice a lineup. Every single one of these overbought flashes are followed by decent, healthy retracements in price. Seeing this happen on the 3 daily chart, I still think a retracement is coming very soon. Do we make a little push higher? Do we even? Hey, who knows? Do we make a push above 40 cents, get back to levels around 46 that we were at back here in April? We could. We absolutely could. Keep an eye on that 3 daily chart dynamic reactor that we have not touched since all the way back in March of 2022. But again, retracements, I do believe, are coming. Third one, Solana. Of course, Solana had a special week last week, just going absolutely nuts. Same thing I just showed you guys right there. Same thing I showed you guys back here on Cardano, that 3 daily chart, overextended. You don't love that. Peak seeker, overextended. These are just not good signs for long-term, more bullish action happening on Solana. But we're kind of sitting in a spot where we broke outside of the symmetrical triangle pattern. Got to go even lower here so you guys see a good eye on it. But we kind of lost momentum there. A lot of times, if this was actually a bull pennant, you wouldn't see this kind of hesitation. You'd see an explosion, a move to the upside. This bull pennant, by the way, that a lot of people are still holding on to. So I want you guys to be aware of it and prepare yourself potentially for it. This could see a Solana price action of $57, $58. Amazing. Going to do a price prediction on this one as well, but we are seeing that kind of get stifled here. Are we going to be able to top this $46, $60 level we hit here a week ago? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that we're seeing a lot of signs of the curvature, the retracements happening. Again, Link, keep it on going. It's got all the momentum in the world. Caspa, I think Caspa's got a little bit more room to the upside before it wants to retrace. But when we're looking at these coins like Matic, Solana, Cardano, they've had some good rallies here, but retracements are coming. The only thing I think could keep those three going again would be this news we're talking about. If we saw Robinhood relisting them, if we saw the exchanges not cowering to the SEC and admitting these are securities, that they back off and say, you know what, we're going to relist these projects, that could be a huge catalyst for people to feel more confident about investing in these coins again. Bullishness is coming one way or the other, but that could be a huge catalyst that if that does happen, watch for spikes, watch for very big green candles on those days.
And that especially be a big catalyst for retail, for sure.
Yeah. So, Dave Digital says, did you paint that? I'm here. I'm in the mountains. Pay no attention to that line. That's right there. Yeah. That's fake news.
I've been trying to pull this off all show.
Yes. Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
So for some reason the music won't play through on Tim's screen, but I think hopefully the vibe has landed. Tim, there's a lot more news. Are you ready to go ahead and get into some more headlines here?
Well, yeah, we got to get into more news. We're going to have some Q&A here. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on a lot of different things. But first, we're going to give another chance for people to smash that like button and hit subscribe.
For sure.
Enjoying the information so far. We also got to get an answer to our trivia question of the day from that trivia elf, the factoid elf.
All right. Let's get to it. Let's get into the answer to the factoid of the day, which the question was, what is the 10th largest market cap on CoinGecko.com? Tim, the answer to this factoid is brought to you by Decrypt.tax, and the answer is as follows. 10 billion. 10.7 billion. Tim, if you look over here on CoinGecko, now a couple of you sneaky ones have probably already gone and checked it out. It is your boy Doge over here. If you don't have any exposure to Doge, then you're not in crypto to have fun. That is objectively the truth. Mm-hmm. Crypto, for those of you who are in crypto to have fun, you need to have some exposure to Doge. It is, after all, literally in the top 10 cryptos. Okay, 10 billion. If you really take a step back and think about that, $10.7 billion. have been exchanged for Dogecoin.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy, but it's also,
Yeah.
that's a revolution. It's a cultural revolution here as much as it is an economic one. So
I was right about CoinMarketCap. The 10th ranked coin is Toncoin. And I think the problem is I think CoinGecko doesn't list Toncoin.
that's possible. No,
No, it
Toncoin
does.
is
It just has it
listed
way lower.
as number
Okay.
16 for some
I don't know
reason.
why. I don't know why they're so far off
Yeah,
on that.
I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of it because it's like I just don't care about it a very little bit. I care about it
Yeah.
like this much, but I
Yeah.
don't care about it this much. So it's like
That's
I
good.
don't think
That's
we'll
a good
ever
point. That's a
find
good
out.
point. Eric Wallen, I do want to disperse some FUD out there. He says that
Disperse
Tim's
some FUD.
mom. I'm going to disperse the FUD. Disperse would be get rid of, right?
No, disperse would be to
spread it more?
spread around further.
I'm going to dismantle the FUD.
That's good. I like that.
I like dismantle.
like
I wanted a diss word because I want to diss
Yeah.
Eric Wallen here. My mom did let me watch that movie. Now, it's very curious. I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter. Wasn't allowed to watch magic,
What
but
movie?
I was allowed to watch a bunch of Nazis singing in the mountains. I don't know why.
The Sound of Music?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wasn't allowed to watch that. Goodness gracious, you'd have to be grown up with a. Anyway,
Just saying.
if you don't want your kids to watch The Sound of Music, by all means.
To each his own,
If that's too far, I guess there are Nazis in it. It does get a little spicy.
It gets a little spicy.
It's a little spicy. All right. Well, speaking of a little spicy, get a look at this gentleman right here. You know who this gentleman is?
I don't.
I didn't know either. This is U.S. Senator Ted Budd. And he's your bud. He's going to be your new Bitcoin bud. He introduces a bill to ensure the right to self-custody Bitcoin is not infringed. Sound familiar? This is language taken from the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Tim, I may be packing some heat right now to defend myself against someone who would roll up into my NFT gallery here to try to question my use of force. So,
now, out of curiosity, you're not referring to the banana. You're referring to something else?
Tim, no, I'm not. I am no.
Okay. I can tell I stumped you with that. I don't think you were prepared for me to bring out the banana.
People, whenever someone brings up my banana, I get a little bit tepid.
As you should.
Timid.
That's solid advice. Solid reasoning. But yeah, Ted Budd, not to be confused with Ted Bundy. Different people.
And I did get them confused. Here's the language of the actual bill, which somehow is only 3 pages. I guess this is like maybe just like the official language that would be added to something. Okay, in general, no agency head may prohibit or otherwise restrict the ability of a covered user to use virtual currency or its equivalent for such users' own purposes, such as to purchase real or virtual goods and services for the user's own use, or, and then it goes on. There's a bunch of other language here, but it does define covered user, which I thought was interesting. The term covered user means a person that obtains convertible virtual currency to purchase goods or services on that person's own behalf without regard to the method in which such covered user obtained such convertible virtual currency. So your rights are going to be extended regardless of the method in which you obtain that, which in light of the discussions we've had with Crypto Seth, the soft note that is available through Tectum could be very interesting. I don't know if the senators and Congress are aware that the soft note exists, but I mean, you could just put some Bitcoin on a ledger and then give someone the seed phrase to that ledger, and so constitute an exchange, which would be very similar to what the soft note technology. But anyway, Tim, did you want to chime in on that, or is it just kind of great? We've seen a lot of crypto bills introduced. Not so many passed.
A difference between getting, I just don't know if we're at the level right now with the right votes to get significant bills passed. That's what the next election is going to be very important on. And I'm not saying it's going to be, one way or the other. There's a lot of Democratic nominees who are going to be pro crypto, and there's going to be a lot of Republican nominees who are anti, and vice versa. I'm not a one issue voter. I don't recommend people be a one issue voter. I also don't think that, I think it's good for people to tell you how they think about voting, but I'm not a fan when people act like you're an idiot for your voting. Everyone has a right to decide for themselves what they think is important, what they think is not important, and vote that way. I will suggest that crypto regulation and people's views on what crypto should look like should be one of the top factors you're using when voting in this next election. But I don't think it needs to be the whole thing. And I would like to see pro crypto nominees put in that give us that clear regulation that continue. That's going to be really big, and I think that could be even more of a fuel for the bull market, or a potential cap, like something that douses the fire. We're going to know the results of those elections right there in time for where the bull market gets to decide if it wants to get really explosive or be a little poopy. So vote responsibly, vote wisely, but vote the way you feel convicted to vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for and who not to vote for.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I've done some hip pocket research to bring this to you guys, because there is an important election. Speaking of politics, right? There is an important election going on in Argentina, and polls are showing that the election race is tightening. So the winner is hard to call. November 19th is a runoff ballot date. So that is going to be big. Why do we care about the Argentine elections? I care a lot because Argentina is several orders of magnitude larger than El Salvador, but they are next in line. If the right guy gets elected here, if Milei, I believe is his name, if he gets elected, he could make Bitcoin legal tender there, and he also has pledged to like basically dissolve their central bank down there in Argentina, which, that one's pretty radical, but could be effective considering that their inflation rate is like close to 100%. So you guys didn't tune in to talk about the Argentine elections, but they are coming up November 19th. And
you don't know what people tuned in for and didn't tune in for, T-shirt. They might have. That might have been the hottest story of the day.
Well, it's definitely not, because I had to anyway. So we're moving right along. Here is a pretty hot story, but I'm going to show you why you shouldn't be too excited about it. So this is HSBC to offer tokenized security custody services for institutions, but cutting to the chase down here, getting down to the brass tacks is the fine print. This will not be custody for cryptocurrencies or stablecoins. It's mostly going to be for tokenized bonds. So put your pom-poms away, Tim. It's not exactly what we all thought it would be. But Tim, one thing that's been going through my mind as these cryptocurrencies has been moving up and to the right is, when are they going to freaking pull back so I can buy the coins I missed out on? And maybe we might be getting a glimpse into that right here. Solana Whale deposits $11 million in Solana to Binance. Could this be a bearish signal? Tim, before we get into all the details, what are your thoughts on a move like this? Is this immediately bearish just from the headline?
What's their headline? Let's read the headline again.
The headline is Solana Whale deposits $11 million in Solana to Binance. Is it a bearish signal?
All right, so it's not an immediate bearish signal. I will say, when you see money or you see crypto get moved onto exchanges, in case anyone doesn't know this, more often than not, when money's moved onto exchanges, that's a preparing to sell and take profit. Why else would you move it onto exchange? If you have your money in cold wallet or in your own custody, putting onto a public exchange like Binance, there's really only one purpose, and that is to take profit. When you move it, when your money off, that's like security right there. That's actually usually bullish. That means there's not going to be a lot of sell pressure, only room to the upside. I will say, just because you move money on exchange doesn't mean you're already ready to take profit. So this doesn't mean when that Solana Whale looked at it, it didn't mean they were looking and saying, $43, yeah, that's why I want to take profit. They might be saying, hey, I think we're going to double top at 46. Let me get my money back on exchange. I think we're going to make a move to $50. I think we're going to make a move to $70. They just think that we're close to where they want to take profit, and they don't want to miss out. So let's move that money onto exchange. Let's put in our sell order, and then we'll be ready. If the price hits that level, we'll sell. So while I think that this does spell and communicates to us that pullback is coming, again, we have a couple reasons to think the pullback's coming soon, but this is just one more of them. It doesn't mean it has to be today. It doesn't mean it has to be at this price. This is a whale getting ready to sell, but not necessarily selling today. And I think too many people respond and act like, oh, the money moved on exchange, I have to sell today. No, they're getting ready, which means you should be getting ready. What is your level? What is your analysis, both technical and fundamental, telling you about how high Solana can get during this rally? Take some conservative estimates on this, choose your take profit spot, and get ready. because that's what the whales are doing. And more often not, following the whales is the way you should go. But this is not inherently of itself bearish today.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I tend to agree. And there is a plethora of reasons for someone moving coins onto an exchange, regardless of whether it's Binance or Coinbase or whatever it is. There's alternative explanations. So it could be, getting their money together for Christmas gifts, going to put that 11 million into 11 different ledgers and then give it to their grandkids. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Well, there is more news here. Stablecoin behemoth Circle mulls a 2024 IPO, says a report. So let's see some of the details here. Becoming a U.S.-listed public company has long been part of Circle's strategic aspirations. We don't comment on rumors. Smart. You remember, silence is not implication. A Circle spokesperson told Decrypt via email. So getting some use of the old interwebs there, we were able to find out that that they are indeed it's been a long-term strategic aspiration of Circle to become a publicly traded company in the United States of America. Tim, let's stir the pot here. What could this is Ripple and Circle? Are they kind of the establishment's darling here, and are they kind of circling the wagon, kind of playing musical chairs, waiting to see which one is going to kind of get the bid from the global establishment to which is going to be the global payment solution? From an actual product standpoint. So Circle has come out. They obviously have USDC, which is an extremely widely adopted stablecoin, whereas Ripple has an extremely widely adopted non-stable coin, just a regular coin, right?
Yeah.
You kind of see where I'm going here.
I don't see that. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping you're not saying that they're heavy competition. I wouldn't put XRP and Ripple and Circle in competition here. I will say, and this goes back to whose day is it today? It's Chainlink's day. We're talking about Chainlink today. Chainlink gets this day. I don't think there's enough people addressing the fact that Chainlink could be a massive competition to XRP going to the upside. Now, I've said this before, and we'll talk more about this. I think that the Ripple IPO that is more than likely coming here very, very soon, that's a threat to XRP, but Chainlink's emergence is as well. And the institutional adoption and eyeballs focusing on Chainlink, while technically they do different things and it's not a direct competition, I do believe that they can either stifle each other or one of them can stifle the other. And at this point, I told you guys before earlier in this video, I think this is the bull market of institutional adoption, and I don't think there's any coin more primed for it than Chainlink. Circle, on the other hand, you might see stable coins being utilized, but Circle's not going to adopt, and it's not going to be the thing that actually makes the transactions happen quicker, faster, cheaper. That's going to be something that XRP, XLM, there's others out there as well, that they're going to be solving for. But just so again, another thing, XRP doesn't do it any faster or more efficiently because the price goes up. XRP could camp out and become a stable coin itself. Right now below $1, it could get to $1, it could get to $20, and it could just camp out and do its job effectively. Ripple is the one that I'm getting very, very bullish when that IPO comes out. I'm not invested in stocks at the moment. Ripple, to me, Coinbase as well, but Ripple to me is one that I think I would be very, very interested in trying to get a hold of some of that stock, because it could be absolutely crazy if it gets utilized the way I think it will.
Sure. Well, okay, so I disagree, Tim. I do see. I am starting to see them as competitors. It's not 1-to-1. I won't say that they're like XLM and XRP level competitors. I don't think it's that cut and dry, right? But I will say the reason why it's kind of glaring to me now, glaringly obvious, is that they're both trying to IPO in the United States, right? That and they're both going to be kind of forging ahead on this path of being the first to be compliant IPO companies that are straddling liquidity markets in crypto and the stock market and Wall Street TradFi, right? So it's interesting to me, Tim, for all the reasons that you stated.
Maybe.
I do think that I have some reservations going all in on saying they are 1-to-1 competitors, but it is definitely an interesting and nuanced, I'll admit, narrative, esoteric perhaps, narrative to follow. Well, we said we would look at Robinhood's chart. I'll pull it up really quickly. Look at this gap, guys. This is not a name you'd want to be in. I've never recommended being in Robinhood, the stock, I like using it, and I do recommend using it in general. It has its drawbacks, but if you take a look here at the stock, man, it sliced through that midline of the Bollinger Band on the daily chart and just went right on down through the bottom line there too on some pretty high volume. So
That'll do it.
not looking good there for Robinhood. Not even an eensy weensy little bit. Well, we've got one more story here, Tim, and this one's actually pretty interesting.
Okay.
Did you want to show a chart?
No, you're good. Let's do it.
I see your charts over there clicking around, and I know that
I'm just taking. Sometimes I'd like to just take a little fancy over at some Dixie charts, and keep up, make sure Bitcoin's not doing anything crazy, and but it's nothing important. We can stick with
charts.
yours.
The Dixie charts putting in a third lower low,
Mm-hmm.
but starting to resume higher, maybe to come back and test that midline, which hopefully that'll be the high.
Getting some bullish flashes here on that Dixie chart.
Oh, Pharrell?
Yeah, Pharrell. Yeah.
Okay.
That green reversal coming in, hitting that 30 on the RSI. We're getting some rounding off and some green histograms coming in on here on this Dixie daily chart. So keep a little eye. Let's see. Let me check out this one real quick. Let's see. Maybe a smaller time frame, 12 hour. 12 hour. You might start flirting with that bullish divergence zone here as well. Oh, there we go. Nice little bullish flash here. There. Yeah, got some bullish things coming in here. And what I was looking at, what I was kind of addressing and looking more clearly, got a small little gap right there. So even if we don't go and hit new highs for the Dixie, we got a gap that goes all the way up here towards $106.20. Yeah, call it 26 cents. We got a gap above us. I think that it would not be hard for the Dixie to make that climb back up there.
Super cool. Like it a lot. All right. Well, we've got this last story here. Kind of weaves into the AI narrative. Not so much crypto, but we've got a little bit of time here. We won't spend too much of it. But this is an article that we brought up to you guys last week. Biden issues U.S.'s first AI executive order requiring safety assessments, civil rights guidance, and research on the labor market. This is the part that I care about, and I think you should too. Look at this vision of leadership and confidence. You got to love it. Getting cheered on by none other than VP Kamala Harris. Got to stop and appreciate the roses, guys. But here is the brass taxes, written by somebody who's probably a little more awake, but supporting workers by producing a report on the potential labor market implications of AI and studying the ways the federal government could support workers affected by a disruption to the labor market. Guys, this is the one thing that I think everyone is missing, right? And it's finally trickling into some actual, I wouldn't call it legislation, but an executive order. Now, we now see, why am I bringing this up now, right? Well, A, because I never stopped thinking about it, but B, because of this headline: disrespectful and dangerous. Video game writers, actors blast Microsoft for Xbox AI tools. So if you take a look here, Microsoft and its M12 Ventures portfolio company, InWorld.ai, announces that the tech firms are developing generative AI tools for video games. Billed as two-part toolkit, the AI offering for game developers consists of an AI design co-pilot and an AI character runtime engine to help developers craft narratives, quests, and other game elements, according to Microsoft's announcement Monday. Tim, this is an extremely emotional reaction that we're seeing from people who are employed by the gaming industry, calling Microsoft's move disrespectful and dangerous. And I'll point out here that if you go take a look at Microsoft's stock, all-time high, putting in an all-time high at Microsoft, the largest component of the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. It's not going anywhere, and it may be the number one play for AI in 2024. We don't know. I definitely don't know. But Tim, where does this go? Is everybody going to be unemployed by AI? And if you don't have shares in Microsoft, you don't have shares in Google, you don't have shares in all these, maybe even some of the crypto AI names, are you going to be up a creek without a paddle?
I don't know what is happening. You're frozen on my end. There we go. You're back to me.
I was just struck. I was struck in that moment.
And like a ventriloquist, you just stayed really still and just kept talking.
Yes, I just kept talking and expressing myself.
There we go. We talked about this before. Yeah, people are going to get unemployed by AI. It's going to happen. I'm sorry, writers. I'm sorry, actors. I'm sorry that your brain is not better at creativity than AI. It's not going to be that way. But you're still human. You still have value. I told you guys, I believe that a lot of jobs are going to be replaced by AI. That A is going to make everything cheaper. I think we're actually going to get to a place where the world, and this actually I don't like. The movement to make everything free and make it so that you don't need money necessarily to survive is going to give the state the option to kind of have very state-run programs where it's like you become literally like, hey, we'll feed you and we'll give you housing and we'll do this. You'll have free education and you'll have free education. You'll have free food. You'll have free electricity. You'll have free transportation. People are going to say, yeah, let's do it. I love it. But that just means they're going to strip you of any freedom you have. And you're going to be so pacified by all the free stuff you get that you don't even realize the restrictions you're under. They're not going to allow you to get ahead. Now, what it will allow people to do is pursue things that they actually want to do. And I think entertainment is one that a lot of people would rather be entertaining. I think most people would rather go, if you love traveling, hey, let me start a social media channel where I travel the world and show people what I find. I love working out. Let me start a social media channel where I work out. I love trading. I love playing video games. I love doing this. Like, that's another thing is we're going to get rid of what I would call more boring or mundane jobs and create more interesting ones that your life doesn't depend upon the income. That's another thing I think could be super, super cool is people that have what you do for a living, you're not dependent upon your livelihood to do it. You're actually truly getting to pursue your passions, your purposes, your desires, and you don't have to worry about money. Like, how many people right now, put a 1 in chat, if you work a job that you really do not like what you do, you really wish you could do something else, but you have to do it to maintain income so you can provide for yourself, your family, everything else. Oh, T-shirt, that's kind of rude. That's kind of rude. I'm going to expect a lot of 1s in chat. I think there's a large majority of people who
I put
do
a
not like
1 in
what they
chat.
do.
For those who aren't watching live, I put a 1 in chat, which is a joke.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They're delayed here a little bit, so that joke's not going to land here for another 20 seconds. But yeah, people like my dad's one of them. My dad tells me all the time, he's like, if I go back to college, I would go study this. Most people I talk to that have been working in their field for 20 to 30 years, it's too late to reject. It's too late to change path. Sometimes even in your mid-30s, it's a little late to change path. You kind of just got to stick with whatever you're doing to make the income to survive. And it's like, hey, how cool would it be if all those mundane jobs that people just really don't like to do goes away, and then you can go back. Finances are not your problem. You can actually pursue the disciplines, the things that you love doing. Alex Green said he loves his jobs. Great. I love my job, by the way. Like I feel very lucky to be in the position that I am where I get to come in and create content, talking about crypto. It's weird. If you'd asked me 4 or 5 years ago, Tim, is your dream job talking about crypto all day, every day? I would have said, what the freak are you talking about? But I really do enjoy. I love getting to do what I do. It's challenging. It makes me work hard every single day to continue to try to stay up to date on everything I can. But it's thoroughly enjoyable. But not everyone has that luxury. There's actually a large majority of people who do not have that luxury. Redman says, "Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, read it.
Why don't we read it every other word? 1.
Okay. But
I
am
grateful.
God
gave
me
a
way
to
provide
for
my
family."
There we go.
That was a magical moment.
You were delayed. You know.
Was I?
You gotta speed it up. You gotta make this smooth, man. Smooth.
I was driving my cousins home because I watch every Gator game with my cousins now over at my grandma's house, which is a nice respite. I was driving them home, and I was telling them, guys, look, and this is a middle schooler and someone who's just barely in almost out of elementary school, so young kids, telling them, look, you guys are going to enter a job market. You're going to go to high school. You're going to have a lot of fun. Then you're going to college. You're going to have probably some fun. Maybe you won't go to college, but you have to realize you're going into a job market that no one else. There is no roadmap for this labor market that you're about to get into. And of course, I tried to put it into words that they'd understand. Labor market maybe isn't. Anyway, I don't know what these kids are going to do. I think about like the next generation of people and how AI is going to converge. And the only thing I can think of is this freaking article right here. Is Joe Biden issuing an executive order? It's going to take an act of government to slow this down. I don't think people realize this yet. It's, I don't know. It seems very significant. I think the only thing you can really do is help kids understand, like have no expectations, and to understand that what their parents did, right, and what even people at our age are doing right now in the labor market is probably not going to be available in the same way. And I say that definitively. It's not going. You cannot expect the same thing if you're a young person coming up today. I don't think it's going to. Yeah. Especially if you're a dog. Now, there's going to be plenty of employment that won't change at all. Don't get me wrong. There's going to be certain things that just can't be replaced by AI. But at the end of the day, the economic change that is going to happen, the tumult and the reactions, the overreactions, the injections of support to try to prevent overreactions from the economy going one way or the other is going to be extremely significant, and it's not going to just go over lightly. Like, there's going to have to be some serious intervention from governments, probably major corporations, and there's going to be huge winners and there's going to be massive amounts of losers as well. And so, have conversations with kids and try your best to help them understand not what they should do, but to expect something different from what they're expecting now. They're not going to go be a firefighter. They're not going to go be a journalist. They're not going to go be a doctor. Like, all of these jobs are going to be changing in some way. And,
what I will say is, we're wrapping out. It's 4:01, so we're going to close out the stream.
Hey,
it's an opportunity. It's a very big opportunity. You talking to me? Let's see. It's a very big opportunity to see some things go the right way. Crypto Dave said, "For real though, I want to be philanthropic." And go around helping and care for feeding children in poor countries. I think that's amazing. Here's the other thing I would very much urge every single person to remember. Technology going nuts is not a new thing. If we were to show people from 100 years ago what we have right now, they would think we were crazy. Why would we want all this dangerous technology? If you fight technology, you fall behind. But those who go with technology, we adapt. It allows us to do bigger and better things with our minds, with our creations, with everything else. I said the other day, too, AI might be smarter at things than humans, but the human brain is still more beautiful and more complex and way smarter than any AI could ever be. Don't fight the technology, adapt with it, grow with it, and watch what we can continue to produce as a human race. Now, that's the end of today's show, guys. If you have not smashed that like button already, go ahead and smash that like button. I really like the new flow we have here on the channel. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, you need to do it. We are getting some great content put out in the mornings. Again, I'm going to start doing some more price predictions, keep you guys up to date on some big breaking stories, as well as some TA movements every single morning. T-Shroom is going to come in at 9 a.m. with the hard-hitting news, everything you need to know to get you prepped for the day. And then we'll have these 3 p.m. shows where we cover the charts, we cover news, but we are going to have a good time. And anyone who comes on here and is like, oh, they joke around too much. Guess what, guys? Sometimes joking around and having some fun is needed, even when you're discussing these serious topics. So we're going to continue to discuss the serious topics, but we're going to promise you guys we're going to have fun doing it. Be a part of the Investing Bros community here on YouTube. Go be in the free Discord, join the memberships, be a part of a movement. Guys, we are not in this. It's not just Tim and T-Shroom and you guys are just watching. We consider every single one of you guys who are subscribed, who are in that Discord. You guys are just as much part of the channel as we are. We learn from you as much, if not more, than you learn from us. So be a part of our family. Be a bro. With that said, though, guys, we will see you tomorrow morning. You guys have a fantastic day. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.